Moms, let your sons put you second. Now, you may not know what that means, but too many times our sons have such a hard time when they get married. And we have this conversation about, the wicked mother-in-law. As a matter of fact, I had a conversation with my own daughter last night, and she said, I got lucky in the mother-in-law department. I said, so did I. But I think part of it was how these mothers raised their sons. I always talk about divorce, but I want to talk about not divorcing. I want to talk about one of the things that makes marriage difficult, and that is a son not knowing which woman in his life he's supposed to put first. And while that may sound obvious, it's not. Husbands, you are to put your wives first. Moms, you are to teach them this. It is your wives first, your children second, and then your mom will move to third position. But so many moms, because a son loves his mommy and he makes his mom first, he gives her bouquets of flowers and she's the first woman he loves. And mom loves that. A man is a man until he takes a wife, but a daughter's a daughter for the rest of her life. We moms get to keep relationships with our daughters mostly the same and grow and be kind of like friends. But with sons, there is a difficulty because of the leave and cleave. He must cleave to his wife. And in doing so, he may leave your state, your neighborhood. He may have to, I have a friend of mine, your son might marry someone in another country, but he must cleave to his wife. And when there's a fight, I see so many sons, well, my mom, this or my that. And I worked with couples when I'm, preparing them for marriage who are trying to find out, the sons don't want to hurt mom. And he knows his auntie is gonna, and they talk about how things. And then he's got this new wife, and the wife's getting upset because I've done a video recently also about how do you protect your wife? Well, when mom has one opinion and I have another opinion, it's not life or death. It's nothing you, husband, have an opinion on. And you pick your moms, or you defend your mom, or you don't defend me, or it gets difficult because a woman wants to see her husband as her helpmate, her partner. Of course, the female is the helpmate of the husband. It's pretty much the same. But you moms, if you plant this in your children from youth on, it won't be difficult for them. And it'll actually make them closer to you. It'll make them love you more. It'll make them respect you more for what you did. But while your children are growing up, you should be saying to your boys, Mom is your number one, and I love you, and you'll always be precious. But one day you're going to be married. And when you are, you need to make sure your wife is number one, and you keep her positions, and you talk to her. And if you have to pick between her or me, her desires or my desires, you always pick your wife's desires. And then, of course, as a mom, you'll go grieve like, oh, I'll miss him. But we're in a society that is overrun with feminist ideology that tries to tell men we don't need them, that their masculinity is toxic, that they're confused. They don't know. Their innate sense tells them what they want to do, but then societies tell them they're bad if they do some of the things they're supposed to do as a man, husband, father. So mom, instruct him, teach him, and then pray. Be willing to humble yourself. Be willing to not have a Mother's Day with your son because he's with his wife and sometimes her family. Let him make decisions. When they have arguments, if he does happen to talk to you, you point him back to her. Don't make him pick. Don't make him choose sides, and don't make him think that you are better than his wife. You need to help the culture save marriages. Even if your son has a wife that you don't especially like, it's his wife. God wants to save marriages. That's why we made the choice to marry. Now you need to help him do it well. I'm Dr. Christine Bacon. Thanks again for watching Breakfast with Bacon. And remember to always live your life sunny side up.